What do we want? Now! Now! When do we want it? Now! Stop the sale! Stop the sale! Stop the sale! No more drones! No more drones! Stop!
Vicious attack on arterial vehicles, also known as drones, overwhelmingly being purchased by Israel.
I am Jewish. I understand the ongoing war in history between Azerbaijan and Armenia. I encourage you to hear these words with a sense of urgency, because as you are listening to this, innocent lives are being lost. In the form of a desperate plea, I am sending to you this message from my great-grandfather Simon, my great-grandmother Ellen, my great-uncle Joseph, and the millions of other victims of the Holocaust and the Armenian genocide, whose voices were prematurely silenced. If they had survived and saw what is happening to our brothers and sisters in Armenia today, they would cry out to the world and ask all of the inhabitants to stand alongside the Armenians and prevent another genocide. They would share their stories of what it was like to survive. Jews were being persecuted. They were called in like numbers to be slaughtered like cattle, and they were being asphyxiated in gas chambers and led into death marches. To us, it's an unimaginable nightmare. For them, it was reality. And after hearing my ancestors' pleas and stories, you still choose not to recognize the horror that Armenians and Jews had to endure? Maybe the pain in their voice or the fear in their souls echoes forever will prompt you to do something. And if you couldn't hear the pain or the hurt, they would challenge you to look at the marks on their bodies, from branded tattoos that took away their names and identities to the broken bones that never healed properly. Their scars are proof of the Turks and Germans' brutality. And even then, if you still choose not to listen, not to feel, and not to see, you are choosing to live in a false reality. Your silence is deafening to the hopes and prayers of all the lives in jeopardy. I choose to make a noise. I choose to listen to the Armenians' cries and feel their pain and amplify their voice. Who am I? I am someone who loves. I am someone who's not afraid to face reality and defend the truths, no matter how hard they may be to accept. If I close my eyes to the truth, that does not mean it does not exist. If I think that the war is over, it doesn't mean it's over. If I don't talk about the war, that doesn't mean it's not taking place. Far from it. If I choose to stay silent and do nothing about this war, I would be guilty of perpetuating evil.
Good job.
When we see people who create evil, which goes against our basic human rights, and we do nothing, it's an evil that we allow to exist. And it's only, thank you, and it only lives for as long as we allow it. We have the ability to eliminate this evil from the world, but first, we have to acknowledge which is what's right and what's wrong. Only after making this distinction can we rise above and spread the good. Azerbaijan and Turkey, the news media, they have their own agenda. They fail to report the truth, leading you to believe in falsities. I choose to listen to my heart and side with the truth. And the truth is, history is repeating itself. Armenia is about to undergo another genocide, and the world remains silent in the wake of the truth. Would you rather remain idle and stand still? If Jews, sorry, I gotta turn the page. If Jews right now were faced with another Holocaust led by a party wanting to resurrect the Nazi party and finish what their ancestors started, what the hell, what would the world do?
Exactly.
Right?
Exactly, you said, bro.
I choose to feel with my heart, and I know what's right. I will make a conscious decision to act against evil and spread love. I choose to see and to join the peaceful protests that my Armenian brothers and sisters have so bravely organized day after day after day after day to help them open the world's eyes to the imminent threat that endangers their existence. I choose to do something. Will you?
Stop the sales! 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 Stop the sales!
Ադրբեջանը գեր ժամանակը հայմանքը այստեղ է։
We want peace! We want
This war, they have been intentionally used to target and destroy civilian infrastructures. While the whole world is still silently watching Erdogan and Aliyev advance through their terrorist pursuit, the government of Israel continues to arm Azerbaijan's autocratic regime with deadly weaponry. While the world remains silent, the government of Israel, symbolized by Holocaust survivors, is supplying grandchildren of genocide perpetrators in order to kill grandchildren of genocide survivors. Unlike the international community's deafening response, Israel has yet to condemn the pan-Turkish mission representative of the aggression currently taking place against Artsakh and Armenia. For 23 days now, Azerbaijan and Turkey have been challenging the survival of the Armenian people. They have ruthlessly left our ancestral cities and villages in an obliterated state. They have knowingly bombed elementary schools, churches, and hospitals. All at the same time, they cowardly claim that they are spokespeople of peace. The offensive weapons Israel has sent to Azerbaijan are being used in an effort to eradicate the Armenian people.
Shame on Israel!
We will not stay silent in the face of such genocidal aspirations harbored by Azerbaijan and its sponsors in Turkey. We are not only here to demand the end of arms sales to Azerbaijan, but to warn our friends in Israel that one day Azerbaijan will turn against Israel just as Turkey has done so. The growing anti-Semitism in Turkey will eventually overrun Azerbaijan and turn it into a weapon to be used against Israel. Israel, why arm a regime such as Azerbaijan who runs oppressive policies within and beyond their borders? Why profit off of a failing dictatorship who fosters anti-Semitism? Why keep a relationship with a regime who has stained the name of peace by barely agreeing to 2 humanitarian ceasefires, but violating them both within minutes. You should align your position with the rest of your people. Politics has no place in humanity. After all, both of our people say never again. Actions speak louder than words. As we share a common dark past, the Jewish community has been standing with us since the outbreak of this invasion. On March 11th, with almost 200,000 people in attendance, our Jewish friends even marched with us to call out the world for their lack of action against this vile invasion. Many of our Jewish friends who hold positions as elected officials locally and nationally towards and being vocal in denouncing Turkish Azeri aggression and the movement towards recognizing Artsakh. We thank our Jewish friends for standing with the just, and we ask that they engage with their colleagues in Israel to halt the arming of Azerbaijan. This has been 23 days of violence, panic, loss, and war. Not to mention in the middle of a global pandemic. But this has also been 23 days of being hopeful. For 23 days, our soldiers have been heroically defending our indigenous lands while always keeping the preservation of our homeland in mind. For 23 days, from every corner of the world, the Armenian community has been rising up and taking over the streets to break the silence from the world who watches our fight for survival. The independent Republic of Artsakh and Armenia are blessed with a fearless diaspora as their second army of defense. Our love for a free and unoccupied homeland awakens an internal flame that no level of Turkish Azeri aggression can extinguish. Erdogan and Aliyev, the end of your authoritative rule is near. Peace cannot coexist with rulers who attack first and then hide behind empty calls for truce. Just as our existence challenges your neo-Ottoman state, our victory will tear down every plan you had to get rid of us. We have been surviving and thriving on our ancestral lands and now worldwide for centuries, and that will never change. Artsakh is and has always been Armenian. We will never retreat from the soil of our front lines until Turkey and Azerbaijan respect the right of the Armenian people to their indigenous land. The only reason Azerbaijan has been able to continue to attack at such level of intensity is because of Israel. We will not stop showing up in front of this building until Israel truly stands for never again, and until Israel stops arms sales to Azerbaijan. Our determined community will not back down until the Armenian people can live joyously and far from violence. We will only rest when Artsakh is truly free and recognized by the globe. Glory to Armenia and Artsakh's armed forces, its people, and our invincible diaspora.
No more drones! No more drones! We want peace! We want peace! We want peace! We want peace! When we said never again, we meant never again! Never again! Never again! Never again! Never again! Right thing! Do the right thing! Principles before profit! Principles before profit! Turkey run, Turkey hide, Turkey's nuclear genocide!
This is for Armenian soldiers fighting right now. Let's fucking go! Israeli, stop selling fucking drones to Azerbaijan. Thank you, everyone.
Do you need one?
Yes.
Here you go.
Okay.
Candle?